I always knew my sister was the golden child, but I never thought she'd steal my wedding venue, until I found out she'd been stealing a lot more than that. By the time I was done, she wasn't just losing a venue, she was losing her freedom. But honestly, she should have seen it coming. Let me take you back to where this all started, because this wasn't just about a wedding. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let me know where you're listening from in the comments. My name is Lauren and I'm 29 years old. For most of my life, I've been the invisible daughter, the responsible one, the one who cleans up messes, pays her bills on time, and never causes drama. My sister Olivia, she's 31 and has been the star of our family since the day she was born. Everything she touched turned to gold in our parents' eyes, even when it was actually turning to garbage. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how this all started, because the wedding venue, that was just the tip of the iceberg. 3 weeks ago, I got a phone call that made my stomach drop. It was from Riverside Manor, the venue I'd been dreaming about for months. You know that feeling when you walk into a place and just know it's perfect? That was Riverside Manor for me. Stone archways, gardens with fairy lights, a view of the water that made you believe in magic. I'd visited it 4 times, talked to the coordinator, planned everything in my head. I was going to book it the following week, right after my next paycheck cleared. The woman on the phone sounded apologetic. "Miss Lauren, I'm so sorry, but there's been a mistake. Your date, October 14th, has already been booked by someone else." My heart stopped. What? How is that possible? I called 2 weeks ago to hold it. Yes, but holds are only good for 7 days without a deposit. Someone came in yesterday and put down the full deposit. I'm terribly sorry. I felt sick. Who booked it? There was a pause. An Olivia Carter. Do you know her? Olivia Carter, my sister. My stomach twisted into knots. Yes, I whispered. I know her. I hung up and sat there in my car, hands shaking. Olivia wasn't even engaged. She didn't even have a boyfriend. Why would she book my wedding venue? I called her immediately, my voice tight with confusion and hurt. "Hey, sis." She sounded chipper, carefree. "Olivia, did you book Riverside Manor?" "Oh, yeah, I did. It's gorgeous, right? I'm so excited. But, that's my venue. I told you about it. At Sunday dinner. I showed everyone the pictures." She laughed, this light, dismissive sound that made my blood boil. "Oh, did you want that place too? Well, first come, first served, Lauren. You snooze, you lose. But I told you I was booking it next week." "You're not even engaged, Olivia." "Actually I am. Just haven't announced it yet. Didn't want to steal your thunder, you know." Her voice dripped with false sweetness. "Anyway, I've got to run. Talk later." She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone, trying to process what just happened. When I got home, Lucas, my fiancé, took one look at my face and knew something was wrong. "What happened?" "Olivia booked our venue." His jaw dropped. "She what?" I told him everything. Lucas has been with me for 4 years, and he's seen the way my family operates. He's watched me make excuses for Olivia over and over again. He's bitten his tongue through countless family dinners where I was overlooked, ignored, or outright disrespected. But this was different. "Lauren, this is insane. She's not even engaged." "She says she is." "To who?" "She's been single for 2 years. This is manipulation. She did this on purpose." I wanted to defend her. I wanted to say it was a misunderstanding, that maybe she didn't realize how much that venue meant to me. But even as I opened my mouth, the words died in my throat, because deep down I knew this wasn't an accident. See, this is how it's always been with Olivia. When we were kids, she was the one who got the lead in every school play while I painted sets backstage. She was the one who got a car for her 16th birthday while I got a gift card. Our mom, before she passed away 3 years ago, used to call Olivia her little star. I was just Lauren, the dependable one, the one who didn't need attention. In college, Olivia convinced our parents to let her borrow $5,000 from my college fund for a business opportunity, some boutique she wanted to open with her friends. It failed within 6 months. When I asked about getting the money back so I could pay my tuition, Dad told me to take out loans. "Your sister is going through a hard time, Lauren. Be the bigger person." I took out the loans. I'm still paying them off. After college, Olivia moved back home, rent-free. Meanwhile, I was living in a studio apartment, paying $900 a month, because Dad said I needed to build character and learn responsibility. Olivia stayed in her childhood bedroom, with Mom doing her laundry and cooking her meals. When Olivia wrecked my car because she'd borrowed it without asking, I paid for the repairs. When she used my credit card just once for an emergency, it happened 5 more times. Every single time, I was told the same thing: family forgives family. Don't be petty. 4 months ago, Lucas proposed to me. It was the happiest moment of my life. We had a small engagement party at Dad's house, and I thought, finally, this is my moment. My time to be celebrated. But halfway through the night, Olivia started crying at the table. She made this whole scene about how hard it was to watch everyone around her get engaged while she was still alone. And just like that, the attention shifted. Everyone circled around her, comforting her, telling her she'd find someone soon. My engagement party became about Olivia's loneliness. Lucas squeezed my hand under the table, furious, but I smiled and pretended it was fine. She's just sensitive about being alone, I told him later. But now, sitting in my living room with Lucas looking at me with a mixture of anger and pity, I felt something crack inside me. Something that had been bending and bending for years finally snapped. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, I heard myself say weakly. Maybe she didn't realize. Lauren. Lucas's voice was firm. Stop. Just stop making excuses for her. He was right. But I didn't know it yet. I didn't know that the wedding venue was just the beginning. I didn't know that Olivia hadn't just stolen my dream location, she'd stolen so much more. And I was about to find out exactly how much. I wish I could say I stood up for myself right away, but I didn't. Old habits die hard, and being a doormat was a habit I'd perfected over 29 years. The next day, I did what I always do: I tried to fix things peacefully. I called Dad and asked if we could have a family meeting to sort out the venue situation like adults. Big mistake. We met at Dad's house that Sunday. I came prepared with printouts showing the venue, my original inquiry emails, everything to prove I'd found it first. Henry, my father, sat at the head of the table like he was mediating a business deal instead of a family conflict. Olivia showed up 20 minutes late, looking perfect as always, acting like this was just a casual brunch. So, Lauren, Dad started, his voice already tired. What's this about? I explained everything calmly. How I'd spent months researching venues. How I'd told everyone at dinner about Riverside Manor. How Olivia had somehow booked it the very next day, stealing my date. Dad sighed. Lauren, honey, your sister booked it fair and square. She put down the deposit. There's nothing we can do about that now. My mouth fell open. But Dad, she knew I wanted it. I told her. Olivia dabbed at her eyes with a napkin. I can't believe you're being such a bridezilla about this, Lauren. I thought you'd be happy for me. I'm finally getting married. To who? The words came out sharper than I intended. That's none of your business. She sniffled. You're just jealous because for once, something good is happening to me instead of you. I almost laughed. Something good happening to her instead of me. My entire life had been about things happening to her instead of me. But before I could respond, Olivia dropped her bomb. I have a solution, she said sweetly. We can share the venue. I'll have my ceremony at 2 in the afternoon, and you can have yours at 7 in the evening. Same day, same place. Isn't that perfect? I stared at her. She wasn't serious. She couldn't be serious. Share my wedding day with my sister. Have her get married first, in the afternoon light I dreamed about, while I got the evening slot like some second-rate afterthought. And that's when it hit me. She wasn't even engaged. This whole thing was a lie. She was making this up just to compete with me, to steal my spotlight one more time. No, I said quietly. I want the original time slot. The one I planned for. Olivia's face crumpled. Real tears this time, or at least they looked real. You're being so selfish, Lauren. So cruel. I knew you always resented me, but this? Dad slammed his hand on the table. Lauren Marie Carter, that is enough. Your sister is trying to compromise, and you're acting like a spoiled child. I'm ashamed of you. Lucas, who'd been silent until now, stood up. We're leaving. Lucas, don't. I started. No, Lauren. We're done here. He looked at my father with disgust. You people are unbelievable. We left. I cried the whole drive home. Lucas was so angry he could barely speak. When we got to our apartment, he finally exploded. I'm uninviting them. All of them. Your dad, Olivia, everyone who enables her. They're not coming to our wedding. Lucas, no. They're all I have left of Mom. Your mom is gone, Lauren. And these people don't love you. They use you. I knew he was right, but it hurt too much to admit. The next few days were torture. Olivia posted on Facebook about her beautiful October wedding at Riverside Manor with photos of the venue. My photos that I'd shown her. Friends and family flooded the comments with congratulations. My phone started buzzing. Friends asking why I hadn't told them Olivia was getting married. Cousins confused because they thought I'd mentioned booking that venue. I tried to explain, tried to set the record straight, but then Olivia posted again, so sad when jealous sisters try to steal your spotlight. Praying for her heart to heal. Just like that, I was the villain. The jealous, bitter sister who couldn't be happy for Olivia. People I'd known my whole life were commenting their support for her, telling her to stay strong against my negativity. I wanted to scream. I wanted to post the truth, but what good would it do? They'd already decided who to believe. Lucas found me crying on the bathroom floor that night. "We'll figure this out," he whispered. "We'll find another venue." But I couldn't afford another venue. I'd been saving for over a year for that deposit. My budget was maxed out. I was tapped. And then it hit me, wait. How did Olivia afford a $5,000 deposit? She hadn't had a real job in 2 years. She did some freelance social media consulting here and there, but nothing steady. Nothing that would give her that kind of cash. I pulled out my laptop and logged into my credit monitoring account. Something I should have checked months ago but had been too afraid to look at. And there they were. 3 credit cards I didn't recognize. All opened over the past 3 years. All with my information. All with balances. My hand started shaking. Olivia had stolen my identity. She'd been using my credit for years and I'd been too blind to notice. I was still making minimum payments on cards I didn't even know existed. But if she'd done this to me, what else had she done? I remembered something. After Mom died, Dad made Olivia the executor of Mom's estate since she was living at home and could handle the paperwork. She'd been in charge of closing accounts, settling debts, all of it. She still had boxes of Mom's documents in her old room. "Lucas," I said slowly, "I need to go to Dad's house." "Why?" "I just need to check something." The next day, when I knew Dad and Olivia would both be out, I used my old key and let myself in. My heart was racing as I climbed the stairs to Olivia's room. I felt like a criminal, but I had to know. The boxes were in her closet. Bank statements, credit card bills, loan documents. All in Mom's name. All dated after Mom's death. My vision blurred as I flipped through page after page. Credit cards opened 6 months after the funeral. Personal loans taken out a year later. Cash advances, luxury purchases, vacation bookings. Olivia had been impersonating our dead mother for 3 years. The total came to over $500,000. I sat on the floor of her room, surrounded by evidence of fraud so massive I couldn't breathe. My sister hadn't just stolen my venue. She'd been committing federal crimes using our mother's identity. She'd been living off blood money while I struggled to pay rent. My phone rang. "Lucas, did you find another venue?" he asked. I looked at the documents spread around me. "No, but I found something better." "What?" "Evidence," I said, my voice cold and steady. "I found evidence of everything. And I'm going to burn it all down." I spent the entire night photographing every single document. Every credit card statement, every loan application, every forged signature. My hands were steady now. The tears were gone. I wasn't sad anymore, I was focused. Lucas made coffee and helped me organize everything into folders on my laptop. We didn't sleep. The next morning, I called my friend Jessica. She's a lawyer and she owed me a favor from when I helped her move last year. I showed her everything. Her face went pale. "Lauren, this is serious. This isn't just fraud. This is identity theft of a deceased person, credit card fraud, bank fraud, falsifying documents. We're talking federal crimes here. How much trouble is she in? Prison time. Years of it. And she'll never be able to pay back this kind of money." "Good," I said. The word came out cold, and I didn't recognize my own voice. Jessica connected me with a forensic accountant that Lucas knew through his work. Within 2 days, we'd traced every transaction. Designer handbags, luxury hotels in Miami, expensive dinners at restaurants I could never afford. Olivia had been living like a queen on our dead mother's stolen credit while I ate ramen and worried about rent. But I wasn't ready to strike yet. I needed her to feel safe first, comfortable, unsuspecting. I called Olivia and forced sweetness into my voice. "Hey, can we talk?" "What now, Lauren?" She sounded annoyed. "I've been thinking, and you're right. You booked the venue first. I'll find something else. I don't want to fight anymore. Silence. Then cautiously, really, I'm tired of this. Can we meet for coffee? Clear the air before we're both brides? She agreed immediately. She loved this. The narrative of forgiveness, of being the bigger person who graciously accepted her jealous sister's apology. We met at a cafe downtown 2 days later. I wore a smile that felt like a mask. Olivia, I need to apologize, I said, looking down at my coffee. I've been jealous of you my whole life. Everything came so easy to you, and I resented it. I'm sorry. Her eyes lit up. She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Oh, Lauren, I forgive you. I know it's hard being in my shadow. I wanted to throw my coffee in her face. Instead, I smiled. How are you managing everything? Wedding planning is so expensive. I'm drowning in costs. She leaned back, looking smug. I have my ways. I've been smart with money. Investments, savings. Mom taught me well. Mom would be so proud of you, I said, watching her carefully. She'd want you to have everything you dreamed of. Exactly. Olivia's smile was radiant. Mom always knew I was destined for great things. I finished my coffee and hugged her goodbye. She had no idea what was coming. That afternoon, I walked into the police station with a folder 3 inches thick. I filed a report with every piece of evidence organized and labeled. The detective's eyes widened as he flipped through the documents. This is airtight, he said. We'll start the investigation immediately. I also filed reports with every credit bureau, contacted every bank and creditor with Mom's death certificate and proof of fraud. The wheels started turning, slowly at first, then faster. 7 days later, Olivia was arrested at Dad's house. I wasn't there, but Dad called me, his voice hysterical. How could you do this to your sister? How could you call the police on family? I'd rehearsed this moment in my head 100 times. I didn't do anything, Dad. Olivia did this to herself. She committed crimes using our dead mother's identity. That's not family, that's a criminal. Family doesn't betray family like this. She's been betraying us for 3 years. She stole from Mom's memory. She stole from me. And you're still defending her. I took a breath. I'm done, Dad. I'm done being the one who has to forgive everything. He was crying now. Please, Lauren, drop the charges. We can fix this as a family. No, we can't. Goodbye, Dad. I hung up and blocked his number. The fallout was spectacular. Olivia's wedding post stayed up on Facebook, but now the comments were different. People asking questions. Someone had leaked the arrest. The venue canceled her booking and called me personally to apologize and offer my original date back, deposit waived. Olivia's mysterious fiancé vanished. Because he never existed. She'd made the whole thing up just to compete with me. She'd spent $5,000 of fraud money to book a venue for a fake wedding just to steal my moment. The trial took months, but Olivia's lawyer convinced her to take a plea deal. For years in federal prison, full restitution ordered, though we all knew she'd never pay it back. She'd have a criminal record for the rest of her life. Dad tried reaching out through relatives, sending messages about how I'd destroyed the family, but I didn't respond. Henry had made his choice years ago, and it was never going to be me. October 14th arrived. My wedding day. The day I'd dreamed about. Riverside Manor was perfect. The stone archways were decorated with white roses, fairy lights twinkled in the gardens, and the view of the water was breathtaking. Lucas waited for me at the altar, his eyes bright with tears. My real friends filled the seats, people who actually loved me, who'd supported me through everything. There was no toxicity, no drama, no one trying to steal my spotlight. As I walked down the aisle, I felt lighter than I had in years. Free. During our first dance, Lucas whispered, "Are you happy?" I looked around at the venue I'd fought for, at the people who genuinely cared about me, at the man who'd stood by me when I finally found my spine. I've never been happier. I finally put myself first. I didn't mention Olivia once that day. Didn't think about her sitting in a cell somewhere. The best revenge wasn't just that she'd lost everything. It was that I'd finally stopped letting her take everything from me. Sometimes the trash really does take itself out. You just have to stop making excuses and let it go. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to share your story or opinions in the comments.